What are you talking? This movie's amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't stop giggling.
Yeah.
Oh my.
About what? We'll never tell you.
No, yeah,
Which
no one knows.
leads right into Welcome Back to Rabbit Troop Sucks, where a pair of adventurers in Rabbit Troop Sucks try to track down an ancient Aztec / Mayan / Egyptian / Apache hoard of gold in 1986 Firewalker.
Can we talk about? Was there ever an Egyptian mention in this movie?
Maybe.
No.
Okay.
Where does
why
your
would
gold
there?
come from?
I don't know.
This is purely North American native.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Incan.
Again, welcome back. Yeah. I just want
Okay,
everyone to
yeah,
be clear.
no, sorry,
We're going to review Firewalker from 1986, but I just again want to note it is a pair of adventurers tracking down Aztec / Mayan / Egyptian / Apache.
That's from the description?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the summary on IMDb.
Wow.
They wanted
no.
to be all inclusive.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you thought that wasn't blowing your mind, it also stars Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. I mean I can't I don't have words at this point in time. I am your host Paul. Next to me is Mike.
Hey.
Next to Mike is La-Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Next to La-Mar is Jeremy.
Hola.
And next to Jeremy is Collin.
Yo.
And we're a podcast about obscure, forgotten about, and often overlooked films. Like Firewalker, which I kept telling Mike that Firewalker was really code for an STD that someone probably had. So, warnings out, friends. Don't get the Firewalker. That's what happens when you mesh all those golds. You don't know where all those golds have been. So many of them.
Listen, Chuck, we're looking for women, you know?
Yeah, we've got a lot of weird lineups here. So let me begin with the director. So this movie that we're going to look at is a complete ripoff of Indiana Jones, which is by Canon Studios. La-Mar noted his favorite movie. La-Mar, what is that?
That'd be RoboCop.
Hell yeah. But we've also done King Solomon's Mines, also done by Canon Studios. And it's also has a nice little John Rhys-Davies cameo. So he's in their pocket, and anything Indiana Jones and adventure related, this is clearly the B-side offshoot. And I note this because the director, J. Lee Thompson, he directed, amongst many other notable films, The Guns of Navarone from 1961 and the original Cape Fear from 1962. I really want to keep that as a backdrop for the thing we're about to critique.
Yes. Let's
Wow.
keep that because The Guns of Navarone was nominated for fucking 7 Academy Awards in 1960.
Man.
And this is the same director that directed this movie that we're about to review.
Yeah, this is yes. As Jeremy is noting, with this we have also Chuck Norris. I know that's going to be some give and take with some Chuck Norris. I mean, we have Walker, Texas Ranger from 93 to I think I wrote 2002. He's in The Expendables. He's also in Way of the Dragon with Bruce Lee from 72. So I mean, we have some diversity here. Invasion USA, which I just kind of noted as we were opening this up, that I would totally do that from 85. So I do think Chuck Norris, the man, the mythos, has a lot of diversity, I think, in his filmography. Some's kind of goofy, some's kind of serious, some action-packed. This is definitely going to be way on the goofier side. Louis Gossett Jr., An Officer and a Gentleman. Iron Eagle, I would do anytime. Enemy Mine, which is a movie
That's been suggested before.
it has.
Yeah.
That we may or may not do one day. Also in Roots.
You know what else this director directed?
What?
King Solomon's Mine.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's the same director?
Yeah.
How do we not know that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Very professional podcast. No, I just looked it up.
Well,
Yeah.
it was probably just like...
So this is the same movie as that.
Yeah, we were probably just caught off guard because we don't really know this director, at least in this time frame. And then, I guess a couple decades previous, he was much more notable. We also get, other people that have been in really notable films. So, I mean, the cast is kind of awesome. I mean, at least if you're going to put this movie together. I mean, the cast has a lot of potential. I don't want to say kind of awesome. The cast has a lot of potential to make a really good film, and it's headed by a really notable director.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Firewalker,
But
1986.
then something went wrong.
Did like he direct King Solomon's Mines and was like, I got that wrong completely, and then did this movie like the next year? Like I gotta.
Yeah, which one came
This
out first?
this I believe is the same year as the sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Did he direct
But the sequel was
sequel?
filmed at the same time
Yes.
as the original for King Solomon's Mines.
so he must have simultaneously been kind of filming this and the other film.
Did he get a good deal on the set pieces and was like,
Yeah,
well, since
like-
we've got these here.
He probably had the actors on set for this movie. He's like, just be here.
Jonathan Rhys-Davies won't fucking leave.
Let-
Let's see what Chuck Norris is doing.
Let's backtrack
Okay.
a little more again. Going back to The Guns of Navarone, Cape Fear.
Yeah.
These are like really notable films.
I've never seen either of those movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you seen the newer Cape Fear?
I have seen the
Robert
newer
Turner?
Cape
Did you
Fear,
like
yeah.
that?
Yeah, it's
you
fine.
should you should go back and watch the original Cape Fear. And I haven't seen The Guns of Navarone for probably 20 plus years.
Actually, I feel like I might have seen that like with my dad at some point.
Yeah.
Like literally like 40 years ago.
Okay, so I say this because these are very notable and very
Yeah.
focused films. I kind of now understand where King Solomon's Mines, the sequel, Alan Quartermain, and this movie all went off the rails. Like, this guy must have been living a nightmare. Like, he's doing multiple projects. They're all the exact same damn thing with pretty much kind of similar looking people.
Yeah, did he try to find gold and get struck with some kind of Aztec curse where he was forced to direct the same movie over and
Was
over
that
again?
the Egyptian part? Remember, you don't
Maybe, yeah.
I've been always told. I mean, I don't know what you guys grew up being told, but my mother always told me, don't mix Aztec with Egyptian and Apache because you just don't know the results. It wasn't like a negative thing. It's just you don't know what's going to happen when in the world of gold and alchemy.
So it's not going to mix like peanut butter and chocolate. It's going to be
Maybe.
Lamar, if I knew it was going to be that kind of party. That's right.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, wow. I mean, so
This director, he also did two of the Planet of the Apes movies from the 70s, The Battle
Which
and
two?
The Conquest.
Oh, the good ones. I've never seen either.
I'm
of
not
those.
too familiar with those. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
Seen bits and parts of the other movies, but just like the first one I've seen, and like the other ones, they seem like they build a story, and I've always been interested in trying to get into it. I know they're kind of filmed backwards in a way. Where
The only one you
story's
need
told
is the
like
Mark
that.
Wahlberg one.
That too. Well, that's
Wow.
the only one you need.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. That's where I feel like Tim Burton directed a film and then just like stopped.
Yeah, he
Thanks
he
for
should
that.
have.
But then I think he came back with Big Fish after that, so I was like, bravo.
Yeah,
I was like,
Big Fish is good.
you cleared your head. Good job.
So this director's all over the place.
Dragged his goddamn wife down.
I just really can't believe we didn't know that this is the same director. I think it's just because when we reviewed King Solomon's Mines, it's just not a good film. It's very forgettable.
Better than this one.
Well, I would say that I remember my big takeaway from King Solomon's Mines was I just really thought, now seeing Sharon Stone in that role, she was definitely kind of an unsung hero. And I noted that a couple other times in other movies we've seen her, either when we recorded or not, that, you know, we see Sharon Stone, you know, more as this like sex symbol later on, but kind of this fun comedic character. Got to see her. I thought she was a lot of fun. She was the best part of King Solomon's Mines for me. And this movie, Firewalker, it has moments that we might talk about.
I genuinely kind of like the chemistry between Chuck Norris and Gossett Jr.
Aren't they?
I feel like they're bros.
Are they not in another movie together?
I don't know.
It feels like they are. Their chemistry is so natural. It feels like
I
this
know.
might be.
Palling around.
Did I just see Firewalker in the back of my head and like
Maybe.
through rooms all throughout my life?
One of the pieces of trivia on IMDb was that their Hollywood Walk of Fame stars are next to each other. So maybe they're just like they're just like
cool.
homies.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guys, if we all get stars somewhere,
I
hope-
assume we will.
I also assume. Hey, wherever you listen to podcasts, go and give us that 5
I hope
out
that
of
fucking
5.
sidewalk's really long.
Yeah, they're gonna,
I was just
they can make it big.
I was just gonna say it's got to be wide because they had to make sure all of our star tips touch. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make sure of that that's gonna be. And Collin just shook his head. That's gonna be in my will. You can't escape my will.
Yeah, and that's legally binding. You
Like
have
in
to
that, like
honor
in that one movie, I'm gonna open up with like, "I will come back from the dead and seek you
it. From beyond the
Yeah,
grave.
From beyond the grave,
Our
If I-
tips will touch.
Well, if they don't touch from beyond the grave,
Yeah.
you'll feel my tippy wrath.
Tippy Wrath sounds like,
Tippy Wrath.
I don't know what that sounds like. Like a 20s porn
I
star.
was gonna say that's my Christmas pop-up theme bar. Tippy
That's
wrath.
that was the advice given to Chuck Norris when they're like, what should I motivate? What's going to bring me into this film?
Lead
He's
with
like,
the tippy wrath.
Tippy Wrath, yeah.
Well, this movie opens up, real banger. Jeep driving. We got Max, who is Chuck Norris, and we got Leo, who is Louis Gossett Jr. And they're driving around. A bunch of bandit ninjas are after them, and they're like, "We're gonna get out of here." And he's like, "Cut left." He's like, "We're in the desert. Everything's left." I should really try. Can I do a Chuck Norris? Mike, can you do a Chuck Norris?
I don't-
Is there like soft spoken and friendly?
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know.
Everything's left.
It's like a quiet
Everything's left.
intensity.
Yeah.
It is. It's hard to pull off.
Which is he Max or is he the other one?
He's Max.
He's
Come on, Lou.
Lou. Yeah, no, I don't even know.
Or his character Leo.
Leo.
Leo. Okay, Lou is Leo.
Yes.
Okay.
According to memes, I don't think you should even try to impersonate Chuck Norris.
No.
You might come through the
Chuck
window
Norris
and punch
impersonates you or
Yeah, there you
whatever.
go. Something like that. Yeah, right.
This episode of Rabbit Troop Sucks has been brought to you by the legend of Chuck Norris, where we appreciate him and honor him.
And please,
Firewalker.
please don't assault us.
Well, those bandits do assault him. They catch up to him real good.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, bro, no,
That's because he drives into an oasis.
you gotta."
Yeah. Well,
And then they stake him to the ground like it was a cartoon.
He's thirsty.
yeah.
You know what? How dare you call them bandits? If they were bandits, they would already
They're
be dead.
marauders.
Yeah.
Were they marauders? What's the distinction there?
Yeah.
I do appreciate the hot opening of this movie, guys. You
Yeah.
like that? Just
Yeah.
Before the credits roll, just they're in the
get right
dune
to it.
buggies.
Yeah.
being
That was
captured.
kind of
Boom,
Indiana
yeah.
Jonesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this movie has a ton of potential because it ripped off Indiana Jones, just like King Solomon's Mine.
That's
So.
This movie could have been really good if it made any sense and wasn't a million years long.
Yeah, we'll talk about a lot of those transitions. Those hard cuts to nothingness. Like, this is why I'm like, dude, did you? I think he was simultaneously filming. The director was simultaneously filming 3 films, and he's like, I'm one way or another, I'm gonna cookie cutter my way out of this, and like we're gonna have cut scenes, and maybe some of the same people are here, and everyone loves gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we were watching this on Tubby or whatever streaming thing.
Epic.
And there were frequent and lengthy commercial breaks. But for the first couple, we were convinced that the movie kept playing behind the commercials because it would come back from commercial to a scene that we were not familiar with. It was
Yeah.
bonkers.
How did
And
you
that's
watch this,
okay.
Jeremy?
I watched it on Tubi.
Yeah. So Jeremy,
And there was
probably
only
said
like
something.
3 commercials throughout the entire thing. so-
Literally every 5 or 6 minutes, there were 3 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
and that's kind of not an exaggeration.
La-Mar
It was
is now
constant.
signed up for 4 different online sports betting places.
Yeah.
Collin and I bought all of our family preemptively Christmas coupons,
And I'm craving Taco Bell.
Yeah, gift certificates to Applebee's. So
God, they
and
got
we
your
we might lease a truck. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Lego's Friends. Remember that? That was out the
yeah.
blue, like a commercial for Legos for like
that
preteens.
That did come out of the blue. Wow.
Yeah,
that
there was a lot.
Are they watching Firewalker? Is that their target audience?
Maybe.
When you're not playing with your Legos, kids, you remember Chucky Bumps. You know,
Chris Parnell taught us how to vape.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Chris Parnell is very pro vaping.
I think so.
Yeah.
I learned a lot.
They were like, "You haven't changed the channel yet? All right, dipshits, let's
We're
go."
going to get sued by Chris Parnell now.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from the Firewalker experience, not just from the movie, but from the in-betweens. I'm learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning now still from the discussion.
Paul loved the movie so much, he spent most of the last half of it like doing chores around the house rather than watching it with us.
You know what?
I saw what I needed to see.
Maybe the Firewalker is the friends we made along the way.
It is. It is. And that is all the more reason to have safe sex and prevent the Firewalker.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
pinpointing
true.
it.
That's very
Wrap it
true.
up.
Yeah. If you're going to touch tips, wrap it up.
Yeah, if you're
lest you
touching
get the
Star
Firewalker.
Tips, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Rabbit
That's a
Troop
Rabbit
Sucks.
Troop Sucks pro tip.
I did buy Saran wrap today.
That's
So
good.
that's all you need. Just a Safeway bag and some Vaseline.
What's nice is if you could get like form it like the flux capacitor, like a rod up
God.
and then offside. Those are the bunny ears. Rabbit Troop sucks. Boom.
Fuck.
Sells itself, friend.
So you
There's your new T-shirt idea right there.
you want your condom to be like balloon art.
Did you? Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And did you get on the Praise the Maze T-shirt?
Oh yeah, I'm working on it.
Nice.
I haven't been working on it.
We've got some fake T-shirts online.
Yeah. No, but I mean, maybe I'll do it. Remind me.
Yeah. I will try to praise the maze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's got to.
Yeah. Well, these guys got staked.
Yeah,
to
they're
the
staked.
sand.
Oh, yeah.
And then some kind of Asian racist warlord rolls up in a dune buggy with like Chinese lanterns hanging from it, and there's like the stereotypical like do, like song playing as he drives up, because this is that kind of movie.
I think you killed Collin. The descriptions have killed Collin.
the guy that was driving this
all
dune
true.
buggy, I'm pretty sure was a stagehand and not an actor, because he had like one of those weightlifting belts on for some reason.
Nice.
I don't know.
Hawaiian
He's an
shirt.
avid-
And a Hawaiian shirt.
He's an avid
Yeah.
wrestler.
Just grabbed him right quick.
He was just like the boom operator, like, hey, can you drive a dune buggy? Get over here.
He could.
And he could, yeah. Hold this umbrella.
And he did.
Yeah, and he did.
No explanation from where this dune buggy came from. Is it like they're just being chased from it at the beginning of the movie, and that's that?
Yeah.
And
We have
No,
no,
we're
idea
jumping
why they
the-
were chasing them.
Well,
we're
Well,
jumping
will.
the gun
they
on it,
hate
but
those two.
who the hell was this guy?
Well, I mean, we kind of find out that Max and I was going to say Lou, but it's Leo.
It could be Lou.
It's Leo.
Come on, we really like this place, Lou.
Max and Leo have had so many adventures together. Some might even say over 100. Some would say 15. But they've had many adventures, and none of them have gone right. And I think we're finding out failed adventure number 15 right here. And that's just kind of the hard cut we get. And I do like it. I do like the opening where
Yeah.
you don't really know, but kind of know what's going on. It's nice. I like these openings.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a rarity to see in movies nowadays.
According to the IMDb credits, the name of this guy that shows up in the Chinese dune buggy is Chinese Man.
All right.
Well-
there we go.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Hey, if he doesn't have a name,
The
what
wrongs
else
are
we
just
call him?
writing themselves
But
and
in all
documenting
fairness,
them.
most of the
Look, Lou,
characters
it's
in this
Chinese
movie,
man.
yeah. There's also Indian girl,
Wow.
big man, young Indian. Yeah, no one's named. No one has names.
And just
Young
the,
boy in shirt.
It's just like an adjective and their ethnicity.
and the lead two characters, their names are like 3 characters long. I'm thinking not a lot of thought when it's a names.
No.
naming convention.
No one cared about
Just
it.
whatever.
I already have deep theories that you're like probably filming elsewhere. You're filming 3 movies at once, and you're like,
There we go.
if I don't really give you a name, you're also not gonna get a real paycheck. So.
There's like
Welcome
there's
to the
pages
cast.
of the scripts intermingled amongst
Right.
one another.
Right. Puppy in sweatshirt. You will make $4 in this scene. Go. Yeah. Wow.
I appreciate he's juggling like 4 movies together at the same time.
I would appreciate it more if you did one movie at a time.
Right.
But would you?
Yes. I think a focused vision is what you want.
That's right.
Yeah. So they do escape from their little conundrum here.
How do they escape, Mike? Can you tell me?
Yeah. So Chinese Man leaves them with a bottle of Perrier sparkling water, I believe.
In a glass.
In a
Fine
glass,
water.
yeah. And he puts it in Chuck Norris's hand and says, "You know, it's gonna suck ass when you die of thirst with a bottle of water in your hand, you piece of shit."
You call him Chornor.
Can I?
Chornor.
I feel like that might be inappropriate.
It's like his Game of Thrones character,
Chornor. Okay.
Chornor has mighty fists and breaks glass.
Yeah, Chornor just hulks through this glass bottle. Miraculously doesn't cut himself with it, but uses a shard to free himself.
What kind of shard?
Yeah, glass doesn't cut Chuck Norris's hands, Mike.
No, Chuck. Yeah,
Chornor. I think we all agreed that it's Chornor.
Yeah. It Chornor carves glass with his hands.
That's right.
And as they escape, they're lamenting that they would really love to be having a cold one at Todd's bar back in Arizona. Hard cut to Todd's bar back in Arizona.
Hey.
We did it.
where they're drinking a
This is
beer.
bar scene number 1 of 50 of this movie.
There are many bar scenes in this. It's if you're not in a cave or a jungle, you're at a bar.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Have your own
is,
drinking game if you want it.
What it should be.
Yeah, and it's pretty classic adventurer style.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Chornor's wearing like a tiny hat for some reason.
I have notes about this fucking hat.
Did you notice how weirdly small it was?
Dude, well, there's a lot of
I
people
don't know
in this
if it
bar.
was
If you
a
wore
small hat or if Chuck Norris's hair was just so big.
Well, it could be that, yeah.
if you wore a big hat, it wouldn't fit.
Also, was it Todd's bar or Tubbs bar?
Oh, I thought it was Todd, but I mean, it could have been anything.
I mean,
It could have been Tubbs.
anything goes with Chornor.
it's a bar with a neon sign.
Yeah, it had a neon sign.
Best bar in Arizona.
My favorite character in this movie is this bartender, by the way.
Sure.
Probably the best actor in the movie.
Todd or Tub, depending on what we go with. But yeah, they're hanging around drinking, lamenting all their shitty adventures. When some mystery babe walks in. Patricia, yeah. Who's been in other movies that I don't know about.
You don't know about any of her movies?
I looked it up.
She was in Flash Gordon.
Okay, I
you go.
don't recognize her from that. But
That's really just
that
gonna
was
be a
it.
big one.
Yeah, all right. She's heavily maked up too. Like,
Oh yeah,
wow.
yeah.
But
They had splurged on Sharon Stone. So
well, that was the thing. I feel like this is the B-side Sharon Stone. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, knowing this is the same director, I was like, what are you doing, dude?
Right.
It's probably Sharon Stone's stunt double.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, her understudy or something.
Yeah. Like you get your own movie now.
Hey, Sharon Stone, too. I want you to meet someone. Chornor! That's exactly
Chornor's not going to be happy about
He's
this.
not. Someone's getting Chornored tonight.
Yeah. It's going to be Collin.
They'll come
Dang it.
bursting through your foundational walls.
Hey, what did Colin do?
I don't know.
Getting Chornored.
She's looking for something.
Yeah, she's like, hey, where's your wine list? The bartender's like, oh, I have it memorized. We have red and white. She orders red. She says, well, I'm looking for a couple of
Fancy fellas.
up to no good looking characters. And he's like, no, in this bar, never. But it's those two.
Yeah.
And she goes up to talk to him.
Is Lou and Chornor.
And it's Lou and Chornor.
It sounds like
like, I
some
have a
Winnie.
treasure map.
Sounds like
They're
some
like,
Winnie
"We're
the
in."
Pooh B-side characters. There's Winnie the Pooh. There's
Chornor.
Tigger. There's Chornor.
So if this were like a Hollywood relationship, like Benifer, this would be Lornor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, that'd be
nice.
good.
Yeah.
But she's got a proposition for these two down on their luck adventures. She has a map to some gold, probably. And she's had visions of a Cyclops man
There's a man.
or something.
But not just a man. A Cyclops. And
He's red.
he's,
This is also the only movie that's ever been made where they talk about visions, but will never show them.
Well, and thank fuck for that.
But he's got,
because
long,
we
but
need
he's got
that.
long black hair. Oh, I don't want to see her visions
No.
at all.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
You can't imagine because you've seen Wayne's World and literally that like
like that.
you know it would be that. It would not have that sound, but it would be that like hallucination pulsing effect of vibrant green color. And you'd just be
Honestly, if she had been like, and here's my vision, and Lornor both looked at the camera dead on and went, "Diddle-doo, diddle-doo," that would have made the movie better.
like, well, of course that would have been great.
It would have made the movie better.
Break the fifth wall, or whichever wall you break in movies.
Chornor breaks all walls.
Chornor-
and that's
yeah.
why we respect him.
Man.
Colin, what are you thinking about Firewalker so far?
Dude, okay, so this girl specifically and her visions. Could you imagine if we had a vision of a red Cyclops and it wasn't just who it turned out to be? It would only be incredibly racist.
Well, it turned out to be the most racist thing you could possibly. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of things with that guy.
Uh-huh.
Pulling knives out of weird areas.
I'm telling you
from his
that
penis.
Billy, whatever his name is, Sonny, he has in his contract, like there has to be a knife at some point.
Yeah, oh, there
in any
does,
movie
yeah.
that I make.
Maybe he makes them. Maybe that's like his online
He brought them from
shtick.
home, yeah.
Hey, are you Billy? Do you want to get in
Here's
touch
the
with
knife
us
for
at
today's
Rabbit
movie.
Troop Sucks? Let us know. We'll sponsor your efforts.
I don't know if you want to interview that guy.
No, you definitely do.
He's gonna pull a knife on you when you.
Never mind.
But yeah, make sure it's a Zoom meeting.
It is I, Chornor.
So we're gonna die.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, during this time, we also got a dude lurking around with a crossbow, as you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by lurking around like 4 feet in front of or behind,
Yeah, he's right there in the bar.
Yeah. How do you walk into a bar?
He's
my
like creeping
crossbow.
behind like the beaded walls. You know, they have like the beaded curtains made of beads. Like
Can't
The-
see
the
me
beat
behind
everybody
the
Everybody in
Yeah.
this movie is a horrible shot.
he's like
by the way.
hiding behind that, but he's not really hiding. We can see him clear as day, and he's lurking with a crossbow.
I want to give a shout out to La-Mar and Mike and Eyes Past. We would often on Thursday nights go to legendary Capitol Hill bar Gabor's, and that is oftentimes where you'd find us relaxing at the end of our week, having some drinks. A lot of it strengthened our friendship, and still friends we know today are out.
Did you guys
there.
bring a crossbow into the
Well,
bar?
I was gonna say,
You
Lamar,
have to,
Lamar
yeah.
often would just,
Okay.
he would uncover from his cloak a crossbow.
His
Lamar,
duster.
Lamar used to dress pretty much like Van Helsing.
Yeah, that's it. It'll go in there.
I remember that.
Mike, oddly enough, dressed like a scuba diver. Is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Oxygen tank and all. So,
Yeah, flippers and all that.
Like a real life Scuba Steve.
That was Scuba Steve, basically, yeah.
Right. And I dressed like Chornor. I had little khaki shorts and hiked upside. I was basically Ned Flanders.
The
in the
tiny
woods.
hat.
Tiny hat. Yeah, it was great. So I just watching this movie just makes me think of our youths.
Yeah, and we had to become friends because no one else would talk to us because we looked like morons.
Actually, fun story. Tangential to that, to actually highlight that was a joke. We were at a
No, none of that was actually
we were at another bar once, and it was Mike and I with one of our friend Mitch, our friend Mitch, and another dude named Bobby, and we were all playing pool together. And Mike and I were partners, and Bobby and Mitch were the other partners. And they were, so Mitch was wearing like a cloak, and Bobby was wearing, like, how would you describe his garb?
God. Like
Like hipster mod?
like
in the ways-
hipster, like someone cosplaying as like a communist.
Yeah, he had like a Russian jacket and a Russian hat, but like
Yeah.
hipster glasses. And these two pretty nice and attractive women came up to Mike and I, and they're like, "Hey, can we have the next game?" And we're like, "Yeah, absolutely. Like, you put down the quarter, bar rules, you got it." And she looked at Mike and I in very, like in this very serious like gaze, and just goes, "Guys, honestly, if you lose or not, we just want to play you guys." What was the exact quote?
It's like, we don't really want to hang out with those theater kids.
I'm like, yeah, no problem. Compliments. Compliments in the weirdest ways. And complissalts. I'm
Yeah.
glad I was on the compliment side of that.
They knew. They knew what they were up to.
Yeah, you don't want to play pool with those theater kids.
Yeah, that might have been a paraphrase a little bit, but that was, it was pretty
I think the
close.
theater kids
The
was
theater kids is
verbatim,
correct, yeah.
And the disgust in her tone was evident.
Oh, yeah, she did not want anything to do with those two.
Yeah.
Do either? Well, I don't. Bobby probably doesn't. Does Mitch listen to this?
He has before.
Okay.
He told us he thought, why would I listen to a podcast where you guys just watch terrible films and talk about how terrible they are? And I'm like, we found a lot of good films. And he's like, I don't think I've watched that or listened in a long time. And I think what he was saying is he didn't listen past the first episode.
Okay, that's fair. So we can talk about them if we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
Phantoms? What?
Yeah, Phantoms.
He loved Phantoms.
He lives in Georgetown.
Oh, shit. Did the Phantoms get him? Is that why he doesn't
Yeah,
listen?
you got him.
God.
Once you listen to Phantoms, you become the Phantom.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
Oh, fuck.
We'll see some.
Just like Chordor here.
Yeah, bringing back my catchphrase from the first one. Yeah.
You don't get up from that. No.
Oh, you can get enough from that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It's never going to be the same again.
Why did you say it like you were constipated?
Because that's how you said it the first time, you son of a...
It's never going to be
I
the
don't think
same
I said it
again.
like that.
Oh, no, you absolutely did. We need to go through the archives. Because I just listened to that episode.
It was like
Well,
a
if you did or you
second-rate
did it,
Rick and
it was
Morty
funny.
character's voice.
Oh, jeez, Ricky ain't getting up from that. So what's happening? So There's Cyclops.
crossbow.
Oh yeah.
So now they're in the mountains on horseback.
Yeah, immediately in the mountains.
Yeah, well,
on
I mean,
horseback.
honestly, the woman's like, and after this vision, this gold, and then after the crossbow doesn't hit anyone. You're a horseback. There's a guide.
Oh yeah.
I noticed.
There's another guy.
Yeah, like, this guy.
Yeah, like that guy who never shows up again.
Right, he's fine. Did he get paid? Maybe. Yeah, he got paid in promises.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking for a cave. They're on horseback looking for a cave.
Yeah, they
have a guide. The guide does
climb-
nothing because Louis Gossett is looking at this map and he's like, "This is the spot."
Yeah, and they climb up there and they find. In my notes, it says bone zone. Is that like
Bone zone.
what's her name finds like a tomb or whatever?
Oh no, this
There's
is
a bunch of
yeah.
bones
She does find it too. She's fucking around
Burial
with
ground where
it.
nobody's buried.
Yeah. Okay.
Colin and I noted while we were watching this, the zipper whistles that you hear, like
yeah.
that's the soundtrack. Is like,
Oh, the music in this is absolutely
Oh my god,
fucking atrocious.
It's insane.
That was for bullet ricochet. Was the zip
Oh, that's right.
specifically?
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, Jeremy. At the end of the movie, I just looked at everyone in this room and I was go, the soundtrack of this movie is written by insane people for insane people. Like there is, I told La-Mar, I go, just so often I want to write my notes like descriptions of the music, but I just often just shake my head, and when I hear the music, I think to myself, that's inappropriate.
Yeah, it's all inappropriate.
You should write down those feelings, Paul.
I did write down those feelings.
Okay, good,
Zipper
good.
whistles are
Yeah.
part of that.
Awesome.
Could
Yeah.
make a drinking game about reading Paul's notes however many times this is inappropriate music. Take a drink.
Yeah.
I can't handle that.
You wouldn't be able to get through this movie.
No, that's worse than Cliffhanger.
Yeah, well, we're on a mission because there's a guy who might know some things, and his name's Tall Eagle. And
Yeah.
he does know some things.
Yeah.
And he's got a sack of dust.
Yeah, bone dust, and he gives it to the lady.
Wait,
From the Bone Zone.
did they find a dagger or something?
Oh yeah, back in the cave they find a fucking dagger. So they
Yeah, that's important.
That is important.
Yeah.
Shornor gets separated from the lady, and they find her in like this tomb wearing a skull like a fucking hat with sunglasses on.
Hilariously.
Because that's how you get a curse.
It's fun to play sometimes. True
Yeah,
anthropology at its finest.
They're following the rules of archaeology,
Right.
all right?
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's you're
She
supposed
hung
to fuck around with shit, get some pictures, and then you get serious.
All right,
Right.
so I'm gonna measure this out. I'm gonna get my sketch pad. We're gonna dust this off. Hey, I'm wearing a mask.
Are you peeing in that skull? Kind of.
That's the real bones, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and they find a fucking knife with like some kind of glowing gem in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then they go talk to Tall Eagle, and he gives her the bone powder.
He's like, hey, go find this stuff, and they kind of make him a deal. They're like, we'll give you 20% of whatever we find. He's like, all right. And
You know what? I'll bet they didn't.
I bet.
I like how I also
Because we don't
enjoy
see Tall Eagle ever again.
You know what?
how
We
when they
went there.
see Tall
No
Eagle,
gold.
they bring him a gift of fucking whiskey. Like the only thing they could have made it more racist is if they handed him like a pox-infested blanket. At the same time. There you go, buddy.
Here's
Yeah.
a quilt.
And I agree with you guys. They probably never did give him back the money. Like as soon as I saw this deal being made, all I thought of is there's a Parks and Rec moment where one of the local natives was also like part of like I think like on like the government board, so they meet with them and they're like, we need to borrow a generator and we need your help. And he goes, a Native American tribe making a deal with the U.S. government. What could go wrong? And it's this. That Tall Eagle gets nothing and screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably stopped in on the way back. Like, Tall Eagle sucks. Well, we didn't find it. Nothing there.
Oh, he found this dagger.
Here's a blanket,
Here's
a dagger, and
here's
this
here's
half-drink bottle of
Here's
Jack.
the dagger from the beginning. It's really cool.
Here's your bone dust back. Thanks.
Rock on, bone dust woman.
But yeah, Tall Eagle tells him the story of like an Incan priest who like transcends his soul to the sun or something.
Well, it's all.
And he's the Firewalker.
So it was like.
I didn't understand.
It was like the Spaniards were here, and I do think somewhere here, or it is mentioned before, the Egyptians. Like it's such in passing that like there's all these cultures.
Why did it need to be
I have
three
Yeah, it's so-
non-connected cultures?
Because
But
they didn't know where like They didn't know the real history.
Yeah,
They
well,
made it up.
clearly.
They just threw it all
like
together.
something said even at the end, they're like, well, when you bring it all together, like in magnified,
Exactly.
I'm like, you piece of shit.
They
Like,
didn't know.
yeah,
They
Mike,
just threw it all together in a pot.
totally. Who was in charge of that piece of writing? Like, how is this all related? It
Right.
magnifies the power.
Well, you know what? If any of them were archaeologists, we'd probably know. But none
Yeah,
of them are.
no. Well, they didn't. None of them claimed to be. They were adventurers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't like Dr. Jones over here.
Yeah, like what do I got to do in high school to become an adventurer? Because I think that sounds
Drop
pretty
out of
fucking
it, I
remarkable.
Get your ass kicked 15 times, then score big. when
Find
you're
a
16.
magical dagger. I think.
Yeah.
Duh.
Be
The
in
moment
a bar
we
when a
have
girl walks up to you.
Yeah, we have visions and find daggers. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I just don't know why we're not doing this. What are you guys doing tomorrow?
We don't live in New Mexico.
Yeah,
We're not adventuring right.
Well, hear me out.
we're doing it wrong. Yeah.
We just go to the plains of Colorado.
Okay.
And just roam.
Let's
And
get
we'll-
some Pueblo stuff.
We might eventually
Yeah.
have visions.
I go to Pueblo.
I cannot guarantee the dagger, but maybe we'll find one.
Get a slopper down there.
Yeah. I was just thinking,
Wow.
Pueblo Indian stuff here. We can
You got-
grab that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as cool as this
Mike, I don't
Mayan.
think you can do that.
You guys don't fuck with the slopper. Jesus, okay.
Mike, you need to treat those women with respect.
This is a Pueblo delicacy. God damn.
No,
it.
tell us about it because it sounds amazing.
A slopper is an open-faced cheeseburger smothered in green chili. It's a Pueblo thing. Yeah.
That does sound good.
No, it's. I mean, if you like the things that are involved with it, it's good.
It'll give you visions.
It has a terrifying
They
name.
won't give you
but-
visions.
You cut it in half with a dagger.
Yeah.
Cut it in 4 pieces with a dagger. It's your dagger. You do
my
whatever you
slapper
want.
in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to cut it. It's too sloppy.
Yeah.
You can't just put it all in your mouth at once.
Kids like them sloppy.
They do.
So you're putting sloppy stuffs in your mouth?
The whole. You got to put the whole sloppy thing in your mouth all at once.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
how you
dripping
do
slopper.
Yeah. It's fine. So.
it. Fucking around.
Oh, the police are here.
Jeez. You've been talking about the slopper too much.
We were talking about the
Fucking
slobber too
get you.
much. So after, after this, they're hanging out at like a cabin. Are we at the cabin?
It's at night, and they're looking at like the maps and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Right
You know,
now.
his
They're at,
sweat lodge, it
like
looks
a
like.
bar that has a hotel room attached to it. So
That's
they're-
right, that's right.
They are back at a
Yeah,
bar
that's
again.
right.
Let me ask you this: the Native American woman who is attempting to seduce and then stab Chornor. Who the fuck is this person, and how did she get there?
No idea.
I thought she was a snake.
Well, she
eventually.
she turned into a snake at one
could be a
point.
Well,
snake.
she
Come
was
on,
a snake
Collin.
before she was a woman.
But how?
The chanting.
The chanting.
Did you not
Well,
hear the chanting?
Okay, so
Yeah, they
there's
conjured up a snake woman.
He's even holding the snake.
yeah. So this is one of those things where it cut back from commercial, and we thought we missed something. There's a guy holding a snake, doing like the stereo.
No, Colin's telling you. So
Yeah.
he turns the snake into the woman to
Okay.
seduce Chuck Norris.
Sure, but like, did a snake roam into the room and Chuck Norris was like,
No.
Yes.
that's sexy.
Well, they didn't show
Yes.
that.
But
Well,
like,
you know,
did
they're in
she?
the desert. There's a
Where
lot of
did she
snakes
come
out there.
from? I know she. I know she was a
She
snake,
comes from the land down under.
but did
Okay.
she just knock on the door and was like, "Hey, Chornor, I want to fuck," and he's like, "Yeah, that's chill."
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that was the.
Well, no,
That's-
I think she just kind of snuck in.
Yeah, she did.
'Cause
I
but
didn't. See,
there weren't
she
any
was
locked
already
doors,
in when
yeah.
they came
Well,
back from
she was
commercial.
bringing him some kind of elixir or
Is that what it was?
potion.
She was She
Yeah.
was like room service or something.
So did you
No,
order a
because-
couple of elixirs?
Yeah, she's like, oh, this.
A potion for the lady?
room service for Chornor.
No,
I got
she's
some
like-
elixir.
I remember this. So she
Okay.
said that Tall Eagle or whatever his name is, that was telling the long-winded story before. She's
Of the
like, "Oh,
Firewalker,
he
yes.
sent me, and he wants you to drink this because it will keep you safe from evil spirits."
Yeah, it
And so
didn't.
Chuck Norris drinks it.
Okay, I missed
He's
this
like
part.
drunk. He starts making out with her.
Yeah, well, yeah, and all of this is intercut with scenes of a guy holding a snake and Tall Eagle, I believe, masturbating.
It does look like it just from
Oh,
his face.
I mean, did it not? Because like all you saw was his head going up and down, and he was like, "Yeah," and then when it's over, he's like, "Oh,
It did look like he had a little session.
yeah." He had a little.
Oh, you ain't gonna get up from that.
He is definitely
No, he's
not
not.
going to get up from
No,
that.
he's not. You gotta
Not
relax.
anymore. But so Chornor drinks the room service poison,
It's fine. Basically, what happens is.
Well, she tries to fucking stab him.
Well, she does, and then Patricia jumps in, punches her in the face, and is like, "Oh my God, Max, you're not awake!" And then they just put him on a plane, and everyone's on a plane the next day, and they're
Well, in the morning he was fine.
kind of. He's right asleep again,
He
and
didn't
then
wake
there's-
up until he got on the plane.
Well, a guy tries to jump off the plane because they
They're
also
on a-
try to rip off Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, they're
This
on a
was really
plane
weird.
Yeah, this
that
is-
catches fire and then absolutely goes nowhere from that. It just lands like normal.
Yes.
Like a guy with a pilot hat like comes out and it's like, oh no, Miss Scusi.
So in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, they are asleep on a cargo plane and they dump the gas on purpose because they want to crash the plane. And the pilots both parachute up and sneak out and jump off. And this guy is halfway about doing that.
He's got a parachute on,
And
but then the plane lands.
yeah, Lou Gossett Jr. is like, "Where are you going?" He's like,
like, "Oh, I don't know.
There's like an engine fire." He's like, "You're not getting off this plane." He's like, "Well, that's good because we're about to land." And the next scene
And
is
then
the
they
plane
do.
landing.
Yeah.
They do land. Yeah.
This movie is
I mean,
lousy with scenes that don't need to be here.
the adventure speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if they had like big plans and then they're like they couldn't get insured or something and they're like we got to do a quick rewrite.
They couldn't
They
afford
could
the
have made
miniature
the
exploding.
same movie
Yeah.
and it would have been 75 minutes long, and that would have been perfect. The exact same. Everything plays out the same way, except you take out all the fat, and you got like this is where it's at.
Do you want visions now? Now that we're editing this, are we putting visions in, or visions are they staying out?
No,
No.
we're not going to put anything up. We're taking never putting in.
What if the
Just take it
visions
all
were
out.
like Scrubs, and it was often like Chuck Norris's imagination of what he was thinking Patricia would do, or what Lou Gossett Jr. would do? Would that?
I
be
think they
better?
just should have just edited action scenes from Chuck Norris's other movies into this movie.
Yeah.
And there you
Could have
go.
made it a clip show.
So now you're like, I want to see Sidekicks. That's what That's what all of you are telling me. So I think Sidekicks is going to be on the table one of these days.
I mean, it has to be.
It has to be.
It's probably more action in that movie.
Oh, you ain't gonna get up.
You ain't gonna name it.
We have to put in 4 more Matthew Lillard movies before we can put in
Oh,
another Chuck Norris movie.
Can we?
What's the Chuck Norris to Matthew Lillard ratio?
2-1.
We only have one Chuck
We're on
Norris.
4 to 1 right
4 to
now.
1.
Yeah, 4 to 1.
So
that's surprising.
much Lillard.
That's how I need to reach out and contact him. That co-host Mike wants so much Lil.
Okay, so they're in Mexico. They're at a bar.
Mexico.
Leo
Say.
wants to go back. Leo's like, this fucking sucks, Chornor. None of this ever works out. Chornor calls him a dadgump sissy.
Something like
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
like that.
He's like, you and this fucking fruitcake girl screwing me around.
Yeah, she gets really offended by that.
She does not like the fruitcake stuff.
I had to pause at this point to be like, what is this rated with language like
it's
this?
PG.
It's PG.
Yeah.
And then Pat says she has visions. You know, she has visions ever since she got the map. And, you know, they've intensified and we've got to go further. And Chuck Norris is like, I need some information, and stands up in the bar. I'll give anyone $20 to tell me $20 American money for information.
Yeah. He does not specify.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, not about what.
Yeah. Just any generic information.
And I like that people in the background are like,
Boo, gringo.
He's like $50. They're like, yeah, get out of here, get that, Jordor.
It's some other guy.
Rabbit Troop sucks, didn't say that. A random guy did. Then he's like $100, and then good old Boggs stands up. He's
Yeah.
like, well.
I've
yes,
got the information.
I have the dirtiest white coat you've ever seen, friend.
Damn it, Jonathan.
I'm gonna cook. She's like, there's a man 200 miles south of here that you need to find. So go there, and you'll find your answers. And I
Yeah.
do believe
No.
you said $100 American.
They're trying to find out how to get through the interior because it's under like military control. And this guy basically is like, for $100 American, I'll tell you that the person you're looking for is 200 miles into the interior.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Thanks, thanks, Boggs.
Jeremy,
Pro tip.
money well spent.
Yeah.
I need a man to work on my house. I will tell you, there is a man in Colorado. Thank you, sir. I'll look into that.
You'll find him. Give me the money, and I'm out of here. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. That's the Boggs way.
Took Chornor's money and moonwalked right out of there.
What if we just turn this whole movie into a Star Wars movie? Boggs could be like some weird alien creature. This is like Han Solo and Lando. I am writing this movie and it speaks for itself. I am going to use even the same dialogue and just turn it into even if it's talking about Aztec gold. I don't care.
You know what my friend Lando told me?
I need that Jedi gold. You know that Jedi gold? Yeah. So I'll change everything to Jedi and like Wookiee. I got to get that Wookiee gold.
I think that's how they actually wrote the most recent Star Wars movie. It was a Mad Libs, basically.
You can pull that off.
This would be great. Princess Leia?
Yeah.
This should be an animation. Netflix, give me money, and Disney.
Yeah, Princess Leia blanks and then blanks into a spaceship.
Come on, fur brain.
Fuck.
Bazinga.
So
Yeah, the bar patrons don't like these folks, and
specifically,
they start getting into it.
A huge guy with a mustache doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's kind of a fight, and then there's really not. It really goes nowhere. I mean, the scene is 1 step, 3 Stooges, and 2 steps. Why are you doing this to me? Let's get on to the goal.
It was.
I also want to make note that every piece of furniture in the bar gets broke.
Every single one.
yeah.
But so then there is kind of a fun bar fight. Like I will say this, like when they're done with this big tough that they're fighting, then it's kind of like a ballroom blitz.
A man in the back said everyone attack.
And they did.
And it turned,
And then Chuck Norris kicks the ass of all.
Yeah, he takes everyone out.
And then the music plays and everyone goes back to drinking and everything's great again. Right. I do like that scene. That
was good.
Yeah.
After the last bottle breaks, the mariachi band starts up again. They just go about their night.
Yeah.
They just go about your night, and everybody leaves.
Yeah.
Some of them stayed. Some of them sat back down and started
There
playing
was
cards.
one table left standing.
They were still thirsty.
I kind of like that. There's just a big bar scene.
Yeah.
It's bar fight scene. Stops. Everything's back to
Music
normal.
plays. Chucky puts in another piece of gum.
Yeah.
And we get a hard cut to Boggs telling everything to El Coyote.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, hey, buddy, I just got $100 and these
Hey,
people
buddy.
are going to here. And he's like, okay, thanks for telling me. He's like, but I want rewards. I have to clean this dirty jacket. And El
Dry
Coyote
cleaning's
just
expensive.
chokes the life out of him right then and there. He's done with that.
You won't need your jacket in hell.
So, does he do like some kind of like mystical Native American magic on him to end his life, or
No, I
does
don't-
he just
I think
hold
he
his
takes
nose
his-
closed with?
I think he takes his
two
big old
weakest
effing
fingers?
fist and just clamps on his throat real hard. That's how
he gives them the clamps.
There's no magic in that.
Yeah, he gave him the Firewalker.
Slopper.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
The old Mexican slopper.
The real thing is, Jeremy, I've never heard that in my life. So when you do inevitably go and order this, I'll bail you out.
Yeah, while you're in town.
How far
go down
away
to
is
Pueblo.
Pueblo from Denver?
A couple hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
man, I
gonna
don't
it's
know.
gonna take a while.
Journey.
Yeah.
It's a day trip to
Yeah.
go down there and get a lunch and come
Slopper,
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Quick slopper and then head home. Because there's nothing else to do in
pit stops.
Pueblo.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
if you're desperate, you're desperate.
Yeah.
Now we got another hard cut where it is everyone dressed as a missionary on a train. Mm-hmm. That's how they're going to sneak into this area that they don't really have proper documentation, which is proved real quick. And if they dress like missionaries, everything's going to happen a-okay. Like,
This scene was so fucking dumb because it was long and nothing happened.
yeah.
That's all I have to say about it.
They,
You said it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of
cut
cut to the chase that people come in and they're like trading places style. Like, you're not real missionaries, are you? Who knows? But hey, give me some documents. And some guy's like, I don't have documents. And they shoot him. They shoot this guy in the stomach, and his wife freaks out. And everyone, Patricia, Max, Leo, they're like, oh my God, they might come in here. And this guy's like, show me your documents. And they're like, oh yeah, documents. And they don't have anything. And then he quickly pulls them out, and Leo highlights that he knows Spanish, and he's like, this guy wants us to perform the last rites, apparently to the guy that they just shot. So they
That's
fake,
a nice thing to do.
yeah, so they fake do this, and apparently the guy's not mortally wounded, and they're like, oh my God, it must have been some kind of miracle. And it must be, because the guy was shot in the stomach
Yeah.
and is laying there, but he's going to be okay. And they're like, oh my God.
Superficial wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're-
his wife comes out like, hey, I found his documents. And everyone's like, womp womp, he's not dead.
And you shot him for no reason.
And then they get off
I
the
also
train.
like how they
and
talk
that's
in
the
pig
end.
Latin. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah.
nobody will know that.
Yeah, they make fun
so
of everyone.
fucking
And
stupid.
then the soldiers like bless me. And they do, in a way.
Did they give him God bless?
The blessing.
Nice.
It's an inside joke from a movie that we haven't reviewed.
Yeah, that's fine. But we
Yeah.
could always bring it back. And, because sometimes in the church you're the
Father. Yeah. They were both dressed as the
Yeah.
and the
I like how right after this they also like pose out in front of the train, like do like a selfie with the.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this-
Patricia's just taking like old school photos.
She
along
loves
the way.
taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. The video kind of glitched here when we were watching it, so I'm not sure what happened.
They get off train and there's that an abandoned town.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they get chased through a banana field.
Well, they're walking around through the town and some guy sees them, and then basically like everyone sees them, and now they're just like running through the jungle.
Yeah, when we were watching this, like the video froze for like maybe 2 minutes, but the audio kept going.
Yeah.
And then at one point, the video went like quadruple time to catch up with the audio. So we watched 4 minutes of this movie in a very weird way.
Yeah.
And it was probably just the same.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we missed anything.
You'd miss
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, yeah, I don't fucking know.
They kind of separate them. The one of the army guys gets Patricia.
Oh yeah.
Well, Patricia comes up with this stupid thing.
Because she's a fucking moron.
She takes off her missionary
Yeah.
garb. She's like, "Hey, it's just me, Patricia. I'm looking for stuff." And this guy is now gonna pretend to, or doesn't pretend. Sorry, he is going to sexually assault her, and she faints, but she pretends to faint. So he starts taking off his pants, and she pulls out a gun, and she's like, "I'm gonna blow your brains out." Like, kind of a gross scene. This,
I would have
It
just
is
actually.
so.
shot
This
him.
man, this
Yeah.
this drunk soldier immediately like just bends down and kisses her on the breast. Like, what the hell is?
Yeah,
and this is a
gross
PG
scene.
movie.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
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 Well.
She gets the drop on him. Later, Chuck Norris is like, "Where did you get this gun?" He's like, or she's like, "From an ex-lover." He's like, "What?"
What is that? Yeah, what?
That gun,
What kind
but
of
that gun,
writing is that?
that gun comes in handy at the end. Sort
does,
of,
yeah.
sort of,
Sort of.
for a moment, I guess.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, gun was from an old lover.
But yeah, anyway, they reconnect with each other because again, this scene was inconsequential to the movie, just like most of them.
Right, and then they go in camp.
Then they go in camp. What's the eye patch guy's name?
El Coyote.
El Coyote.
And he's
He's kind of stalking him.
well. She is clearly bewitched by him. Like, she picks up the dagger and starts walking over, and he's like all in the woods, like, "Yes, give me the dagger." And she's clearly about to, and you could tell she has no power. Like, she is in a trance.
But then Shornor's like, "Hey, snap out of it,
Yeah.
fruitcake."
Yeah, what are you doing? And she's like, "I don't know."
Okay, I
And
don't-
grabs the dagger,
I
and
don't know.
that's it.
Yeah.
Now we're at a different camp. We get
Yeah.
So we wake up the next morning, boot to face. Chuck Norris is like, "Come on, Leo, what's going on?" And it's
Just some
Bas-
rando.
like mercenary
Yeah,
army
whatever.
going on. They're like, "Get over here," and they bring them back to this huge camp where they're about to decapitate them.
Yeah. They take Patricia to like. I was under the impression that there was going to be some more sexual assault happening. And they demonstrate that they're going to cut their heads off by chopping some big gourds in half.
And then right about as this man, like, lifts his arms upwards with this machete,
Right.
and he's about to go down on Chuck Norris's head.
He's about to go down on.
He's
Chuck
about
Norris.
to go down on Chuck Norris's head.
And all of a sudden,
Indy. I mean, Tornor.
it's Corky Taylor. Corky Taylor, you old son of a bitch.
Who else would it be but Corky Taylor?
Corky Romano.
It was Corky Romano.
It's Corky Taylor. Jonathan Rhys-Davies. You expect?
I also like how they're like just like everybody that was just about to cut their fucking heads off is like, "Oh, you guys are all cool, man."
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's super chill.
Fine.
And no grudges are held. Nothing. It's all fine.
I know Mike is usually the more like grumpy one when it comes to movies, and I'm usually the more like easygoing one. But I'm going to say this very directly. Jonathan Rhys-Davies, you should be ashamed of your accent. Your accent in this movie is appalling. Just
Yeah.
what in holy...
I think he was trying to do like a Southern Marine.
He sounded like Forrest Gump in a blender drunk.
Yes,
I
that's accurate.
didn't even notice because
Oh, yeah.
it felt so natural to this movie.
Okay, so Collin at first he's like, whoa, like that guttural yawl that he does,
Yeah.
like in Indiana Jones.
Most of what he says aren't words.
Right, but then later he's like, y'all reckon I'm going up the mountain and you'll see me? I was like, what the hell was that? What happened?
Well,
what?
I think throughout this like scene, he drinks approximately 3 to 4 gallons of hard alcohol
Absolutely.
too. So maybe,
Well, there's
maybe
nothing
that's
else to
the
do.
problem.
Yeah.
And there's a big party. Everyone's pretty happy.
A guy gets to dance with Patricia.
Yeah.
She's happy. She's having a
Yeah.
good time. It starts raining.
Oh,
Chuck
yeah.
Norris gives really weird, toothy, longing looks that somewhat like slow down freeze frame. And it's kind of like your old paps looking at your daughter, and then you're like, it's Chuck Norris dating this woman. You're like, It's like the look in The Cable Guy. Like when they're
He
in the
wanted to
van.
roundhouse
like,
some love into her.
Yeah, it's the look where Jim Carrey's like, you really want to know my name? And gives him that toothy smile. Matthew Rogers is like, okay then.
Okay.
I'm going to go.
Well, the next morning, they see them off
After the feast.
After the feast.
Which is my new EP. After
the feast. Yeah. They give them a camouflage painted Volkswagen Beetle with
for a jungle vehicle.
with balloons tied to it.
I assume it was a wedding gift.
Yeah.
For everyone.
It looked like it, but okay.
For the mercenary on the go.
When Jonathan Rhys-Davies is giving him this vehicle, he has a hat with like wine corks hanging from it for some reason.
It was
I
a
don't
wild night.
understand that.
You could also call him Rhys-Davies.
For short.
Rhys-Davies.
Does he prefer to be called Rhys-Davies?
Yeah, that's his screen
Rhys-Davies.
name.
Oh God, help us!
Corky.
Oh yeah, they toss in a couple chickens and I
big
believe a
little
little
pig.
pig for
Pigs.
him too. Just like going away dinner.
Yeah, just like a little snack in case you get hungry.
Fast food.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, how else are they supposed to get to camping scene number 2?
Oh my god, so much fucking camping. So,
Yeah.
and there were mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah,
Everyone
so-
hated it.
So this is crazy. So they park by this river.
Yeah.
And so Patricia immediately's like, I'm gonna go out and swim. And first and foremost, before they even have, they're like, we're gonna camp here. And I'm like, you're gonna camp next to a jungle river? Like, why in God's earth would you do like that? Seems the most unsafe place.
Yeah.
In there, and they highlight there's like a crocodile. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
100
Chuck
feet
Norris throws a rock at it. He's like, get out of here, you son of a bitch!
Go on, get.
It does not get.
No, it does not.
So you
Scamper
wanna,
off like 5 feet.
so you want to camp there? What are you talking? What are you talking?
It was a nice spot. There were mosquitoes and
was
crocodiles,
nice.
and yeah, it was pretty scenic.
I mean, it's not like if you don't go, 5 miles down, there's not just going to be 2 crocodiles.
Right?
down
Yeah,
there.
that's fair. Yeah, one is better than a couple. So
Yeah.
when you see one, that's where you stop.
Get they did not.
No,
Yeah.
no, they did not. Well, whatever. Fast forward to tomorrow morning. Leo's gone.
Yeah. Well, it was at night.
Oh, was it?
He's like, I'm gonna go wash the dishes, guys.
It gives him
And-
time to be alone.
Yeah. So they have some alone time. They're like, Leo.
Leo.
He gone.
He gone.
Well, he's gone. And Chuck Norris throws a little pity party for himself. Leo.
Very upset.
He told me he.
No, babe, no.
He told me he had a bad feeling about this one. I wouldn't listen to Leo. And he's like kicking the fire, and he's like, "We're going." Throws a little piss
He had
party.
a little tantrum. He was a little colicky.
Yeah. No, we're not getting the gold now. Well, I'm gonna go on my own. You can't make it. I'm
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Chortle.
Well, so they decide to go for a ride in the car and try to drive across the river because he thought that was a good fun. Maybe he thought it's got balloons on it. It'll probably float a bit.
Let's just talk about this to begin with.
Lord.
Okay.
The tires have air in them.
Here's a VW bug. You're gonna go through an unpaved jungle. How far would you even get? Like,
Not very.
This fucking car wouldn't have made it out of the village.
Whoa.
There's no way.
This is a very reliable automobile.
No, it's not.
I don't know. Clearly, it's,
Yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah. Volkswagen Beetles are terrible.
In the jungle, you don't know about that because I have a movie to prove you wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
and they did
they
all
were
that.
designed for the jungle,
They
and we've
painted
just
it
been
in
using them
camo.
wrong this whole time.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure I watched a documentary. I don't know
Yeah.
what movie you guys were watching.
Oh God.
Was this a History Channel documentary?
Well, it doesn't fucking work. Driving across the river in the Volkswagen.
Surprise.
It sinks.
Beetle. Yeah, it does sink quite a bit.
But they just get out and find a temple. So it's kind of convenient.
Yeah, it sunk right in front of the temple. That was good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Doggy paddled ashore.
Yeah, well, that's what they did. Yeah, can Chuck Norris not swim?
No, he was dog. That
was that the joke?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
That was
so
a joke.
funny.
There was a large amount of time devoted to this. There's a large amount of time devoted to little jokes that
Yeah.
don't hit at all.
Yeah.
He acts out a good 20 minutes of this movie.
Chuck Norris wasn't actually swimming. He was just moving the lake away from him.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I know we're about to find this out. Like, so they go into the temple.
They get into the temple.
And Leo is. We'll get there in a second. I mean, there's some stuff that kind of happens, I guess.
Sort of.
But Leo is strung by his hands to the top of this cave, and below him is essentially like a whirlpool at this
It's
point
like
in time.
some bubbling hot
Yeah.
water. I don't know.
Why is he in this position? I mean, so like, am I wrong? Like, so El Coyote put them there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Why?
Yes.
Because he wants the knife.
Probably to lure them in because he knew they had the dagger.
But they didn't know he was there.
No, that's true.
So what is happening?
Wait
Well,
a
it's
minute.
just a hostage thing.
Yeah.
That's purely it.
He just assumed that's where they were going.
Well,
Correctly.
you're looking
Yeah.
too deep
Yeah,
into
I
this.
guess he,
Well,
Paul, I feel your thought.
I know all the time I reference Austin Powers, where Scott's like, Dad, I've got a gun in the other room. Let's just go and kill him. He's like, Scott, you just don't get
You
it.
just
dude."
don't get it.
Paul, I think this is what happened. I think El Coyote snuck into the camp at night
We did.
and kidnapped Lou Gossett Jr.
did?
Yeah. And he's like, my plan is this. I'm going to take you to the temple that you guys are trying to find, and I'm going to hang you by your hands so that when they go to the temple looking for you, they'll give me the knife in exchange for your life. That was El Coyote's plan. What he didn't count on was that Chornor only did any of this accidentally.
So let me also, yeah.
Chorno was one to leave. He's like,
Chornor was trying to go home, and he stumbled upon the temple and was like, well, since we're here.
I know. So El Coyote, yes.
El Coyote's plan was decent, I guess.
No, it's not because, listen, he has Leo. Just kill him. And now one guy's dead.
Right.
And El Coyote is a massive gentleman.
Also, he might be a supernatural spirit.
Right. A massive gentleman with supernatural powers.
Yeah.
Then just go kick the shit out
Yeah,
of
he-
Chornor and take the dagger.
You know what? That's a good point. Instead of kidnapping Lou Gossett Jr., he should have killed them all in their sleep and taken the
Yes.
dagger.
Right.
yes.
Even if he didn't want to kill him, he still could have just snuck in his camp and stole the
Yeah,
dagger.
I mean, they didn't wake up when he
Well,
kidnapped Lou Gossett Jr.
So here's the thing. So we will get to, they eventually encounter him and he's like, just give me the knife and you could go. Like, I don't care about
Maybe he
anything.
couldn't find it.
He's beckoned to it. How about this? He kills Leo and then again bewitches Patricia.
Maybe there was a whole comedic scene that we didn't see where like he was trying to like fish it out of what's her name's pants with like a broom and a
None of
like
that
a
sounds
fish
right.
hook or something.
What? No.
I also
That got
would like
worse.
to ask you, gentlemen, what is gonna what is the power that this man is after?
He
What
said,
is
he said all of the ancestors' power he'll gather.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like he has a decent amount of power already.
So all of his ancestors.
The whole
Yeah, does
all
that
of
mean
his
like he's
Incan,
gonna like be
all
like a
Mayan,
Ghostbuster
Egyptian
villain, or what does that mean?
It means he will grow at least half a foot. That's all I wanted.
his penis will.
He was not tall enough
No.
for a big and tall shop. And now
He was
with
right at
his,
that awkward height where it's like I'm
Yes.
too big for Macy's, but like the big and tall's too
yeah,
big
it's
still.
like if I want a quick shirt at Target, like a medium doesn't fit me.
Right.
I'm
Like I'm
"Oh,
getting
what
it
is this?"
tailored either way, and it sucks.
Right. So it's like finally I will be accepted at a big and tall shop, and
That's probably what it was.
Chordor is like no. No.
He was never
Maybe it
accepted.
was a mistranslation. Like he said, he wanted to become the Firewalker, but he was really just looking for a cure for his Firewalker.
Are you going to turn this into a Prodigy song?
Yeah.
Cure the Firewalker.
Well, Leo is hung up, and El Coyote's like, Patricia, you could go. She leaves. It's a trick. He's like, I've got her in another room.
Gotcha, bitch.
This temple is... The doors are the most insane thing of any stone temple ever written in the
This is a
history of
Scooby-Doo temple.
Yeah, well, I assume, because Collin and I were laughing at the same temple doors opening and closing, so I kind of assumed that this guy's doing it with his mind at this time. Like,
No,
he
that-
wants it to happen.
It was like King Supers. There's like a sensor. They just the doors open and close when you walk up to it.
Yeah, at the most awkward times, too. Like, sometimes you feel like a ghost because you're like, oh, God, the door's not opening for me. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Chuck Norris has an amazing plan where he's like, I'm going to jump on top of Leo and we'll rock back and forth and I'll free him. And it works.
Kind of, yeah, eventually.
And then they find El Coyote and he's like, I'm going to sacrifice Patricia.
Yeah.
And on the way over, again, I said this would come in handy, he's like, oh, it's Patricia's gun. And it's the gun from her old lover. And Chuck Norris picks it up. And we forgot to say this. He is a terrible shot. He's got the shot of a stormtrooper. He can't hit anything. And it's established all throughout the movie, but he does get a shot off. Blows this dude through the chest with his gun. El Coyote flies backwards. He frees Patricia. And they're like, oh my God, like, he's dead. It's great. We're free. Let's find that gold.
Yeah, just like that.
And somehow Chuck Norris develops a brain. He met the wizard and was granted a wish and finally could find the treasure.
Well,
Because he's like deciphering code. He's like, it must be the sun and behind you.
yeah, but he's fucking wrong.
Right. Yes.
At least he tried.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
and
gave it a
Patricia's
go.
like, wait, I have the knife key, and puts it into some little, the block she was about to be cut up on, and that flies through a door and reveals all the gold in the world.
Yeah.
So they,
In all fairness, it's like a small closet full of gold.
yeah.
This isn't like Mayan and Inca and
Orthodox.
Egyptian.
Yeah,
gold.
this isn't national treasure levels.
right. There's like a couple golden gravy boats and like a serving
This is like
platter.
National Closet.
Yeah,
And like a tiara from
That
like
sounds-
there was a
Frozen
tiara,
movie.
yeah.
That sounds like what someone who's trying to rip off Tall Eagle is trying to say. There's a ton of gold. in
Oh,
this
I'm
thing.
all for Tall Eagle. One, I thought Tall Eagle, even if this deal was going through, was getting effing screwed with 20%. What?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do much. 20% is a pretty good deal.
But he was also like, this is like the gold of my people. And I wouldn't be like, and if I find it, I'll give you 20% of it. Like, that seems like not
Well, it was the gold of
rad.
his people and other
Actually,
people.
you know what? I think they said that they'd give it to the reservation. So he might
Yeah, not even him.
Not even him.
Well, what is he going to do with it?
Yeah,
That's true. When they
Open a
found him, he
casino.
was
I was going to make
Tall
that
Eagle
joke.
was in Poltergeist too. He could do whatever he wants with that money.
Hell yeah. So maybe they'd give it to him, but they probably didn't.
Well, yeah, they find the gold, and El Coyote's back.
Yeah.
And he's
Out of
attacking.
nowhere. Yeah.
Oh, his return is amazing. He like flies through the air.
When you get shot in
Yeah.
the chest, you come back angry.
He was angry.
He like push closed the cement door thing too.
Yeah, I think he used it as like a ramp or something.
Yeah, well, you gotta.
It was like some American Gladiator kind of
Yeah, it
stuff.
was awesome.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Chuck Norris fights him.
It was awesome.
and wins.
Well, kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah.
not at first, but
Oh, definitely not at
eventually.
first.
Well, yeah.
He's
Coyote
choking
kinda-
his shit out.
Yeah, he fucks everyone up a little bit.
Oh, he's not going down like a jerk.
That's
No.
very
He's like, I was just
true.
shot in the chest. You think I'm just gonna like come out and not do stuff?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
what-
shot in the chest powers now.
Yeah, he's fueled by that.
Yeah, I feel if you're shot in the chest and you get back up, La-Mar, it's like instant. Like you just took PCP. Like if I could survive that and I'm alive, the last breaths on Earth I take are me wrecking your world.
Yeah. Well, and that's what he was going for.
Oh yeah, and he succeeds.
Well,
Well, maybe he was
does.
getting them from beyond the grave.
I think he might have been. Yeah.
He will come from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
But what's her name stabs him in the back with the fucking knife.
Her name is Patricia.
Patricia stabs him in the back with the fucking knife, and then sprinkles bone dust on him, and he catches on fire.
Well, she stabs him, and then Chuck Norris is like, "Oh yeah," and kicks him in the back. And I kept thinking he's gonna kick the dagger
Yeah,
in deeper,
no,
and
he
he
didn't.
doesn't.
No, because he's
Yeah, well, you
missed
say.
opportunity.
Okay.
Because he's
So
a
let me
short
ask you guys something. When you were watching this, did that man catch on fire after
for
Chuck?
sure he did.
Okay,
Yeah.
that did not
Well,
happen
no,
in my
no.
movie.
Wait, what?
He dies,
No.
and then she sprinkles the dust on. They walk out of the room, and he catches.
That
on
did
fire.
not happen in my movie.
Really?
No,
No.
way.
That's
Oh, Yeah, well, he catches on fire and explodes.
No, that did not happen.
Jeremy, how long was the movie you watched?
Like an hour and 40 minutes, maybe.
Okay. That's about what ours was.
Did you leave the room?
No, I did leave at one point in time to start doing some dishes.
Yeah,
And I
so
had
did
like
Paul, I
a
think.
gap in
I
notes.
kept looking. I was in the other room watching most of this.
Jeremy, do you know what fire
But I
looks
can
like?
still see my TV while I was doing dishes. I just wasn't taking notes. But that man did not catch on fire because I remember being done with the dishes, started taking notes again. And yeah, none of that happened.
So he just was not on fire and they left
Yeah,
him?
he just laid on the ground and then they're
What if
at the
Jeremy's-
sailing part now.
Colin, what if Jeremy's colorblind and he really can't see fire? He was like, I never saw any of that. I've never seen fire in any movie.
Are you fire blind?
Jeremy, I think you might have seen The Kings of Solomon.
I am the Firewalker.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
that guy is super on fire.
Yeah, he is super on
He was
fire.
back, and now he's not.
No, he's not, yeah. And then we go to Fiji to celebrate.
Yeah. So part of the thread throughout the movie too was Leo's like, if I get rich, I eventually want a yacht. I want to be on beaches. I want to meet women. I want to go to casinos. I want to eat good food. And Max jokingly is like, yeah, I'll be there with you. He's like, I didn't invite you. But at the end, he's like, you are invited. And he is invited. All of them are there, and all of them are rich.
Yeah.
How about that?
They did it. They're on a yacht.
They have like a fruit plate and some champagne.
Yeah.
But then, this is so fucking stupid. Camera pans up to like the tiki bar, and it's Asian man that from the Chinese dune buggy earlier. He's like,
Chinese man.
Chinese man. He's like, gentlemen.
Again, as noted on IMDb.
Yeah, that's
and the
not- we're
credible
not-
Chinese man.
Yeah, we're not horrifying people. So we meet, or what? He had like a phrase.
It is so. We meet
So
again.
we meet again.
Meet again.
Ah, and then that's the movie.
And he laughs. So he's
That's
I think he said,
fucking God.
"Oh, number one man, until the death." And Jeremy stood up and said, "Bravo!"
Yeah.
And
I
finally,
threw a shoe at my TV and
he finally
That's more
understood
dishes.
Manborg. He's like, "Yes." Well,
there
before
really is no heaven.
Hey, bro,
See?
it's your brother.
See, we've incepted Jeremy, and now he's thinking about it. He's like, "Damn that end! There is no heaven, bro." What? Here's my cassette tape goo. Well, before we get in and past the goo and into the Firewalker that is, and to give you that shot of penicillin that you desperately need, as always, reach out to us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast.com. Let us know if there's a movie you'd like us to watch, or you've got a little bit of trivia. Have you been in one of these movies? Let's talk. I was just blow drying my hair. Thought I heard the phone ring. Does that ever happen to you?
Blowing it out.
Call me. We'll talk about it. Also, go to rabbittroopsucks.com. We have links to our podcast episodes. Clearly, we have links to merchandise, pictures of us, little information. As always, you could, listen to this anywhere podcasts are available. So that was asked to me recently, like, you have a podcast? How do you listen to it? I'm like, however you would listen to a podcast.
With your ears.
Was it like a 90-year-old person that asked you how to listen to
It was
it?
not. And so anywhere you could listen to podcasts. So with that, we're also on Instagram. Sometimes we go to Facebook. I prefer Instagram myself, though. With that, reach out to us. And thanks for your comments, and thanks for rating us when you have.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
give us a like, give us a follow.
yeah,
That really helps.
it does. We like it, and we like to present more of this. So,
Yeah.
what's everyone's review on Firewalker 1986, also known as Other King Solomon's Mines?
I thought you were serious at first when you said that. I'm like, if
Oh,
they
I'm
want to
serious
call
now.
it that, just in parentheses on IMDb.
I'm gonna write in trivia.
Can anyone do IMDb trivia?
Yeah.
You can. So I could just add. I could do it right
Do
now.
whatever you want.
Yeah,
Get on there, Mike.
yeah.
Put something in there. Freshen it up. I doubt many people have hit the Firewalker page lately.
Yeah,
It
you
doesn't
can start
seem
it.
like it. Yeah.
Jeremy, I'm gonna start with you. How do you like Firewalker?
This movie was really dumb. It was so like I watched this movie twice, and the first time I watched it, I'm like, this movie's fucking dumb. But then I was like, they tried to do some comedic stuff. Maybe they were like trying to make light of like the Indiana Jones franchise and like other things. And so I watched it again with that kind of like mentality to it, and it was still fucking dumb. And I'll never watch this movie again. So I'm done with it.
Jeremy, let me throw this out there, and I'm kind of sorry. Like, I know sometimes in the past I've been like, would you watch this again? Would you go on? Do you regret watching it? I'm not getting the sense that you regret watching it, because at least we could talk about it, and I don't doubt that you wouldn't see this again. But
no, it was fun to talk about. Like, I like talking about movies that are really stupid because we clown on them so much,
Sure.
and I think that our episodes are funnier. Like when we watch dumber movies. I also want to make note that the fucking eye patch that that Billy the Kid or whatever his name is, Coyote, switched eyes periodically throughout the movie
oh,
too.
nice.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Jeremy, you're the one to mention we should do a Chuck Norris film. Do you have one in mind for future viewing?
So this is really one of the only Chuck Norris films, besides maybe Sidekicks, that's a little different, where he doesn't play like this like brooding person who doesn't have a lot of dialogue, and I think there's a reason for that. I don't think Chuck Norris is a good actor, but there are, if you're looking for like what you want to see Chuck Norris do, there are many better films to do that in than this movie, which is Karate.
Yeah, is there any specific one that you're like, if we went more specifically like, action oriented, is there one you would want to do in the future?
I believe he was in a movie called The Gauntlet.
Oh yeah.
Where he like you have to fight his way through like a bunch of ninjas. I think I kind of like that one. I think
Sure.
the martial arts in there were much better choreographed than this. He's also in a movie with Bruce Lee, which I think could be a potential one just for that fact. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of Chuck Norris movies recently. I think Walker, Texas Ranger is probably the last thing besides this movie that I have seen Chuck Norris in.
Yeah, it was Way of the Dragon in '72 that he was in with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Paul, do you remember when we watched Breaker not long ago?
Yes.
Yeah, that movie was terrible.
Oh yeah, I totally.
The one where he was like
Yeah.
a truck driver who had to avenge his brother or
We watched,
whatever.
we watched most of it with my dad.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, that movie.
Rico, your father.
Yeah, that movie was incredible. It was bad, but it was.
It was,
worth
no, it was
talking
amazing, yeah.
about. La-Mar, what'd you think? Firewalker.
Pretty much side with Jeremy. It's fun to talk about movies that are just bad. This movie is bad. It is not even fun, enjoyable, just to have in the background and clown on. It's just...
It really is, La-Mar. Like like nothing was good in this. Even the action scenes were like boring. Like it was just not good.
And even for Chuck Norris, I would expect a little more. In his action scenes weren't even serviceable. I can't even say they were great. And that's what you want Chuck Norris for, is for that action. You don't get any of that here. This movie feels like it was specifically made for being shown on like the 7:00 movies, on like Fox at night on Wednesdays. It feels like you can watch this movie there like every other month or so. It's a movie that they put on repeat and you watch over and over again. You're like, I can't watch this movie anymore. Why are you showing this movie? And closing other comment is Lou Gossett Jr. is 87 and Chuck Norris is 83 years old. They're
Jesus.
still around.
I'm willing to watch Iron Eagle 1 for this podcast.
If they want to do a sequel to this movie, there's still time, guys. Do it up. I won't watch it, but those guys are still around.
But you'd be happy if they did. Yeah.
Another thing I want to mention, this is a Golden Globus movie produced. It's really just really known for being just really bad movies. If you're gonna watch this movie, go in knowing that you're gonna get a little of that Golden Globus feel.
It
And
does
I don't know if
feel
you're
that.
I don't know if you're familiar with that. Those production guys, they have a feel to those movies that just feel different. They just hit bad in a different way.
Unless you're a Chuck Norris completionist, there is absolutely no reason to watch
yes,
it.
that's right.
Which we all are.
Colin.
I think I'm a little bit higher on this than you guys are.
All right.
But I think purely it's just from the like a dialogue standpoint, where I just think some of the one-liner jokes and some of the extended jokes just hit a little bit better for me. And I think that's about the only redeeming quality of this movie, because the cuts were terrible, the music was terrible, the dialogue overall wasn't that great, plot didn't make any sense. We kind of touched on why El Coyote did the thing in the temple, but we didn't even mention why the movie started. Like, the whole thing doesn't make any sense.
Does it feel like it has a beginning?
Yeah.
But it just leads you right to and really didn't have a real ending either. This movie just kind of just stumbles from scene to scene.
Yep. But I think, I liked watching it. I might watch this again. I wouldn't say no
Damn
at
you,
this
Collin.
point.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault. You don't have a sense of humor, Jeremy.
You can have a Firewalker Dead Man's Curve night, Collin.
Oh,
Nice.
when you put it like that, I might just go to bed.
I'm gonna let Mike go last in this one. I agree with Collin. I don't dislike this movie as much as you guys have said. This movie's not great, and I'm not recommending it. Jeremy, you kind of noted earlier that if you trim the fat off this movie could have been way more cohesive. Would it have been better? Yes. Would it have been great? No. But so much could have been removed. Like, this movie could have been a sweet hour and 15 minutes. Like, no joke. Like, here's a little story. Just in, out, and then it ends. And it would have been cleaner. I do like more of the comedic moments. Like, watching this, kind of going into this more like, this is going to be a comedy, I did enjoy it more. So when you do hear the zip whistles and stuff, I'm like, I am chuckling. Collin and I were both giggling when all the cave doors, like, are you kidding me? Like, it was like every 5 seconds. It's like, I need to get in this door. No. And then it just opens. So there is some fun. Would I watch this again? It would have to be a long time until I see it again. Not recommending it. And yeah, I totally agree with Jeremy. There's other better Chuck Norris films out there. If you want to see what he is best at, watch those movies, and then maybe we'll get to sidekicks. Mike, you're in.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys on this. Like, this is the second time I've seen this movie. It's bad. It's pretty bad. But I'm going to set the scene for you. It's a couple years from now. It's midnight. I'm a little drunk. I'm trying to find something to watch that I'm not really going to pay attention to. And I'm flipping through movies on various streaming services. I can't decide. I see Firewalker pop up. I'm like, yeah,
Wow.
I'll put you on.
Nice.
Really?
And then I pour myself another drink and I look at my laptop rather than watching the movie.
So it's good enough they get there. There you
Yeah.
go.
Wow.
That's how I watch this movie the next time.
So it's good enough to be background.
Yeah, I thought this movie was kind of fun. Like, it's stupid. There's nothing measurably good about it. But I don't know, like, whatever. This is the kind of movie I like watching. Bad movies that are fun. That's all I got.
Well, there you have it. Clearly, there's going to be some more Chuck Norris films in the future. Next week, we have Small Soldiers. So I have not seen this movie.
Neither have I.
Yeah, and La-Mar.
It's fun.
Yeah, everyone's telling me this, and I'm very much looking forward to this. Small Soldiers, the director Joe Dante from 1998. Joe Dante, most notably from directing Gremlins. There's another movie I would like to do of Joe Dante's later this year. It's a very fall film for me. But yeah, this is a very inspirational director for a lot of people. I just haven't seen this. I know Phil Hartman's in it, so I really hope this is a good one. Kind of like toys going rogue after people buy them, and it's like action adventure. I think dark comedy in ways. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, there's great. There's some good like dialogue in Small Soldiers.
Yeah, I'm totally in for this. So I think the last note before we really sign off tonight is if you get a case of the Firewalker, how do you cure it?
What's it called with
Just gotta
the?
ice it.
A healthy dose of Chornor.
Yeah. You got to throw
No,
some
what's the
Chonor on
thing?
it.
Oh, you need a slopper.
Slopper.
The slopper cures it. Yeah.
That's how you cure it.
Slopper for your
Slopper on there.
firewalk.
Well, I don't think there's any other way to go out on that. So enjoy your slopper. As always, Rabbit Troop sucks.
Rabbit Troop.
Chornor.
Slobber.